We are sponsored by Overcast, an independent podcast app that embraces the open world of podcasting instead of locking it down. No exclusives, no premium content, no paywalls, just a great podcast app for everyone. Get it for free in the App Store. Welcome to Muffed Movies, where we act out your favorite films using only our memories, our voices, and some tiny notes. I am your host, Mark Soloff, and this episode was recorded in May of 2020 with special co-host Andy North. Enjoy! Andy, shall we commence?
Yes, let's do the traditional Muff Movies prayer. If everyone could join your hands and close your eyes.
If this is your first time listening to Muff Movies, welcome. Please just quietly take a seat in the back. This is a solemn occasion.
Open your hymnals to page 25.
And bear in mind, did say.
Is she a big old fat person?
Oh, Andy, I think you're rushing ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Ecclesiastes.
Yeah.
Who's got a dick for bear in mind? Let's party, boys.
Oh, let's party! I'm a lightsaber!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blaster Podcast presents Muffed Movies. My name's Andy North.
My name's Mark Soloff.
And today we got a real treat for those of you stuck inside during quarantine.
Sometimes you might feel like you're stuck in a maze with all those rooms you have in your apartment.
Sometimes you may feel like you're about to pass into the world of adulthood.
Sometimes you might feel like putting a Bowie knife into your David.
What if you are listening to Muff Movies right now and you're currently going through puberty? First of all,
Oh boy.
if it just started at the beginning of this recording.
No. They thought it was going to be like a dirty sex talk podcast with the muff stuff. Sorry to disappoint you, brother.
We'll do 8 minutes of dirty muff stuff at the end.
Dirty muff stuff. 1970s porn.
I'll look at a picture of a naked woman and describe it to you. So,
ooh boy,
stay tuned for that.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were giving a PSA to the pubes out there.
Oh, about if you're going through puberty during this time of ours?
What if you went through the entire process of puberty in the span of listening to one podcast?
Just buckle down. Get it over with.
Yeah. Oh my God. The growth spurt, the bones, the body odor, the cheesy, wispy mustache.
Well, I still can't grow facial hair, so I'm still at the... I never even went through the wispy mustache phase.
Wow.
I wouldn't shave
Andy,
it until 20.
We're going a little bit behind the scenes here, but I am growing a quarantine beard.
I don't think I've ever seen you with a beardy beard.
I grow a thick, luxurious beard.
I think it is part of my Russian heritage, my friend.
Your voice does sound like it has a richness and a timbre, which I don't think that I've heard before. I'd like to see that.
I'm growing a beard. Can you show me the beard?
Oh no, it's taking over.
He's more beard than man now.
Speaking of more beard than man now, we got a real treat for you chuckle fucks today.
Muff Movies presents Labyrinth. It is a time of imagination in the 1980s. Young, prepubescent teen Sarah Williams is filled with thoughts of castles and kingdoms and adventure, but the world around her seems to want her to grow up. Will she be able to stay a child forever? Or will forces beyond her control pull her ever closer towards the grave? Find out in this week's Muffed Movies. I could never be your woman. Smash cut!
Oh yeah, baby.
It's a field. A big open rolling field. Looks like it's in the British countryside, but it's not. It's America. There's like a beautiful curved stone bridge over a small pond. Look, it's the protagonist, Sarah Williams, played by a teenage Jennifer Connelly. She is running across the field, pursued by her shaggy dog Merlin. and Sarah is wearing like a sort of costumey kind of
Renaissance fair.
Elizabethan. Perfect. It's a Renaissance fair gown. In her left hand, she doth hold a book, upon which the title is writ Labyrinth, and she recites the lines of the protagonist of the book into naked air, sort of pretending to be an actor and kind of being like a immature teenager who's playing pretend.
I have fought my way through the Goblin Kingdom. I have overcome its perils and walked the streets of the Goblin City. I am here to reclaim the child that was stolen from me. My kingdom is mightier than yours, and my people... Oh, damn it. Sarah surprisingly swears within the first 5 minutes of a children's movie, Mark. Merlin dies.
Merlin howls at God himself and rolls in a puddle of horse shit. Just so flabbergasted that in such a Muppety movie, someone would say, damn it, right off the bat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Merlin. I know you don't like it when I curse. It's just that I forgot that damn line. Merlin rubs his face into an actual cow pet.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly
Yeah.
flips through the Labyrinth book until she finds the relevant passage. My people's strength is greater than yours as well. I've come for the child that was promised to me.
Flash bang, crash mang.
Blah!
Zeus, the great god of thunder, suddenly opes up the sky, and a great deluge of rain falleth upon our young heroine. Oh no, her dry clean only Ren Fair dress is getting glommed up with
Oh, yeah.
water.
This is going to be a
Oh.
nightmare.
Yeah, the dog who's covered in horse excrement, even he looks at her with a cock eye and says, girl, that's not going to come out. Sarah shrieks and creaks and runs home. 1980s music follows her because
Look around.
David Bowie
There's so many things
did the
to
whole soundtrack.
see.
This is sort of like how Prince did all of the orchestral songs for the Batman movie. David Bowie did all of the music for Labyrinth. So all the transitional songs, all the I don't know, ambient background songs, they're all Bowie. So there's like this weird 80s dance pop funk kind of underscoring this very Muppety, fable-y movie.
Sort of like a David Bowie style music.
Yeah.
Almost.
So she's running across the street in the rain, and Halloween Jack was a real cool cat, and he asked for the ladies' party. Ploit, ploit, ploit. Knock, knock, knock. Sarah bashes at the door of her familial home.
But who's there? Who is it knocking upon my chamber door at this late in the evening? What, Sarah?
It's me, Sarah Williams, the rightful heir to the Williams fortune. Let me in, stepmother,
Oh,
whose name is only stepmother in the cast list.
don't say things like that, Sarah. Come in, get warm.
Sarah poots in through the door, and just like a small carpet lake issues forth underneath her. Sorry.
A small what?
Carpet lake, because her gown is so drenched that it's turning the living room into a flood zone. The shit dog jumps up on the family couch, which is like bobbing on the roiling water like a whitewater raft.
Oh, no, Sarah! Sarah, get that beast out the front door immediately. Dogs are not for the house, they're for the servants' barn.
Sarah opens the door, and all of the 5 feet of water that she brought in rushes out, carrying the dog, who cowabungas his way out upon the couch. Sarah's stepmother chucks a completely full glass of wine across the room where it smashes on the wall. Now, Sarah, You're very late. And I'll have you know that me and your father were gonna go out on date night, and you were meant to be here half an hour ago to babysit, the child, Toby, who your father and I made through sex.
Babysit? Why don't you babysit on an egg, you old wrinkled up hag?
Oh,
Sarah's stepmother faints dead away.
Sarah's father peels himself out of a nook that he built into the wall and wallpapered over.
No, Sarah. I am your biological father, and, your mother might not be around anymore, but you gotta treat your stepmother nice. Maybe you need to spend less time, in the books in, Fantasyland and, more time doing things girls your age do, like dating boys and, growing up and not caring about fun and cool stuff like Muppets.
Huh. The only dating I want to do with boys is carbon dating their bones because I buried them in the Cretaceous period. Dad.
Do you have a time machine?
Maybe if I did, you wouldn't even care. Sarah races off upstairs. Slams the door behind her and turns on her favorite 60s tunes. Is Wipeout from the 60s? Let's pretend for the purposes of this joke that it was.
Surf rock always feels like 50s, but I don't think that's accurate. I think surf rock is much later.
Let's look it up.
Look it up, Andy. Look it up.
Wipeout was originally recorded 1963, it looks like. Hey, I was right. So just before, when you guys were just about to be like, actually, Andy, you were fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was Tricky Dick Nixon's inauguration music.
I love this town.
Smash wipe to Sarah's roof.
Sarah, really going from zero to shit fit, is punching her pillows. She's throwing her bizarre, very distinctive Jim Henson Creature Shop stuffed animals across the room. And she's screaming, "It's not fair, it's not fair." She can only very distantly hear her father say, "Okay, take care of Toby." And then the keys to his Rolls Royce ignite the ignition. And as he and stepmother screech off into the horny, horny night.
Good riddance, Sarah says. But all of a sudden her eyes alight on a blank space in her wall of stuffed animals like any normal 16-year-old girl has. Hey, 16-year-old girls, can you... Oh, no, never mind. That's a trap. I was going to ask them to write in, but I can't have them. I can't have them sending letters to you, Mark. I'm so sorry.
Andy, it's perfectly fine for a 37-year-old man who's growing a quarantine beard to receive letters from 16-year-old girls, provided that their relationship is just one of mentor and pupil.
Tell me about your toy walls, kids. Right in to my private email for my podcast.
I'm wondering, though, do 16-year-old girls have stuffed animals? Have, walls full of stuffed animals?
I think they probably have digital reconstructions. 3D printed lattices of stuffed animals.
Kids don't do anything these days that isn't attached to a screen. Back in my day, we had stuffed animals that our little brothers could steal. Nowadays, all they got is these Tamagotchis. Everything's Yu-Gi-Oh!
I did not ask that girl for her Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That girl triggered my trap card and fell directly into my stratagem.
I have the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And you... Didn't we visit this already, how terrible my trump is?
I think this is... Yeah, it's all territory we've been to before, but I love to
Has anyone seen my Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Me and my comrade, Vladimir Putin. Okay. We get insane in the membrane.
I tap the swamp for 2 mana. 2 mana. Oh, my trump is worse than yours. I think that's maybe the first time I've ever tried to do a trump.
Yeah, it's surprisingly hard for such a like roundly mocked president. He's
I-
like he's kind of like pushing like a little whispery, but it's not just that. And there's a slight bit of like, okay, like I'm Lorne Michaels, like come back with my show. There's a little bit of that.
It's close enough
But-
to other voices that I feel like I just keep slipping around into those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, spoiler alert, I'm gonna run into the same problem with Bowie. I can't
David
do
Bovine?
Bowie, baby.
Oh, well, just do Tim Curry.
I'll just do Tim Curry. I think it's gonna be Austin Powers sometimes.
Nice.
Tim Curry.
Curried Tim.
I'm using as my lodestone the Bowie impression from Flight of the Conchords, in case anyone is
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and just the rest of the time, do your favorite Mighty Boosh character.
Okay.
Because, I mean, old Greg is welcome in any scene.
Oh man, if they remade Labyrinth with the Mighty Boosh, that would be something
Oh.
worth watching.
Jesus the Christ, I would love it.
We'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Okay. What is this? Sarah picks up her fists. She looks at the dust outline of where Sir Didymus, her favorite stuffed animal dog knight, should be, and she sees a tiny baby footprints in the gigantic thick shag carpeting leading from her room to the baby's room. Toby!
Sarah pulls out her oversized magnifying glass and follows the trail of footprints back to their origin.
Detective mode is activated.
She finds a hint from the Riddler that she disregards for now.
She's not going to collect all those.
Yeah, it's at the top of like a really difficult set of jumps.
Yeah. Magic jumps.
Whoa, spoilers, baby.
Foreshadowing.
Do I make you horny, Mark?
Do I make you horny?
Do?
You remind me of the babe. What if Ian McKellen had been the Goblin King?
I think it might have sounded a little something like this. Or do I make you horny, baby?
Do I make you horny, baby?
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
You remind me of the babe.
She goes into Toby's room.
Swoosh, she enters Toby's chambers. And the little, okay, so in the movie, Sarah is
Stacked.
irrationally
Oh, sorry.
irrationally mad and pissed at this little boy and screaming at him. But the little boy is also shrieking with tears, probably because Sarah is berating him so fiercely. But he is not a happy little wiener.
No, two things about this moment. Number one, real power move to introduce your main character by having her berate a screaming child for 5 minutes right at the beginning of your movie.
Yeah.
Number two, boy, there's an awful lot of scenes of this child crying in the movie Labyrinth, which, they had to get those scenes somehow. So I think we can reverse engineer this and say that Jim Henson was just torturing a baby for several days on set.
I mean, yes, that was his operandus mundi. But I believe the child actor who played the baby was the actual baby of Fraud, who maybe was the artist. Yeah, it was a Fraud. I think he's the artist who designed the Goblins, Brian Fraud or something. So I think the baby had some ties to the production, and therefore, not that it's okay to frighten a child all day long, but maybe the people making the film were it's cool. We'll pony up our own baby for this one.
That's showbiz, babe. I'm gonna make this baby a star.
What, I gotta cry all day? Ah, Jesus Christ. Gotta brush up my Meisner. Here we go. All right, get into the place where I was getting my divorce. Wah, wah. Ah, I'm Toby the baby. Wah.
Oh, Toby, you moron. Sarah walks
Oh.
over and retrieves Sir Didymus, who's just been carelessly thrown on the floor by the horrible little Toby. Why don't you just shut up and go to sleep so I can go back into my imagination palace already?
Hey, why don't you tell me a fucking story over here?
You watch your mouth, Toby. I'm not going to tell you nothing except sit down, shut up, and go to bed.
Little did Sarah know that in the womb of time, long ago, the magical Goblin Kingdom created several key words that, when said together, could summon up their greatest powerful villain ever, the Goblin King. And those words were, shut up, sit down, and go to bed.
I am awoken, baby.
We see a bright white Harry Potter owl smashing its way through Toby's window, and in a puff of velveteen smoke, David Bowie appears with a giant floofed out 1980s wig, wearing his glam makeup and standing regal and menacing in front of Sarah.
Yeah.
Ya's right, motherfucker.
Ooh, don't swear in front of my dog, please.
Oh, I don't see a dog here. David Bowie, a.k.a. Jareth, the Goblin King, gestures with his leather-gloved arm, and where the dog once was are now 3 goblins who are basically imagine some cute Muppets that you just left out for too long and they started turning brown and slimy like bananas.
Yeah, like the leftover Muppets that they didn't have room for in the first Star Wars movie. That warehouse caught on fire, and then when it was put out, the Muppets that hadn't burned up got water damaged, and then they left them in there for the rest of the summer. And then they're like, hey, we could use these for Labyrinth.
Yes. So anyway, they could be cute, they should be cute, but they're kind of gross.
Just like us.
Wear her just like humans, where her dog once was, are 3 comic little goblins human centipeded together to make a dog shape.
Hey, Sarah. It's just a goblin.
What? Goblins are real?
That's right. Numbnuts.
All of a sudden, lightning flashes and the cuckoo clock chimes, but instead of a bird, it's a tiny goblin flapping its little black wings. Cuckoo, cuckoo! A salacious crumb from Jabba the Hutt's palace swings from a chandelier and drinks the rest of stepmother's wine.
Grover races past with a Playboy magazine.
Wait, Grover?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, but it's weird, It's more mature.
Like shaved Grover.
Yes.
Shaved Grover.
A shaved, oiled up Grover slithers past.
Excuse me.
I can count to 5,
Anyway,
says Jareth, coughing uncomfortably.
Jareth shuffles his index cards. According to this, you were looking for something in that crib over yonder?
Yes, this is my annoying little brother, Toby.
Oh, is it?
Sarah turns to look at the crib and whips the blankets back from a rustling shape. But there's nothing there.
Oh, you must have misplaced the babe.
What?
So, here's a little advice from the Goblin King to you, Sarah. Give up on caring about your little brother and go back to reading your little stupid child magazines, the things that only a puppeteer would value. And I'll take the child and eventually transmute him into a goblin.
No, you can't do that.
That's the only way we can reproduce, you understand?
I'm not interested. You give me my brother back, or so help me, I'll do something.
Hey, look at this. David Bowie pulls out his balls, which are crystal balls that he great. That he like amazingly sleight of hands back and forth in front of her. It's hypnotic, these glassy spheres just rotating around in front of her eyes. She can start to see shapes emerge from the murky, swirling visions inside of them. I will give you a crystal, Sarah, which will show you your dreams. And all you need to do is forget about your stupid little brother.
Sarah snaps out momentarily from her usual ill humor and stares mesmerized at the rotating balls. Well, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're doing for me, but I really should get my brother back. I'm going to be in so much trouble.
Bitch, what? Jareth throws the balls at Sarah, and they transform into a cobra, which wraps around her neck. Oh my god, it just escalated real quick.
The old 3-ball cobra trick. And there's worse than that up my sleeves if you cross me again, little girl.
Sarah looks down at the cobra, and it is turned into one of those spring-filled peanut brittle cobras. Bleh. Just kidding.
You'll find that all is not what it seems here in my labyrinth, says Jareth.
What labyrinth? Sarah says, turning around, and suddenly she finds herself standing shoulder to shoulder with Jareth the Goblin King, outside in a field, in a strange place. They look into the distance and see a huge, artistic maze which surrounds a crooked, evil-looking castle. Whoa! This isn't Toby's room.
No, Toby's room is bullshit compared to this, I think you'll agree. Say it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Say it, Toby's room is bullshit and my room is much better.
This is your room? This giant outdoor space?
The whole world is my room, baby, when you let yourself go. Jareth wiggles his hips in a sexual way and minces across the rocks.
Ew, Sarah says and averts her gaze.
You'll grow to like it. We all grow to like it here in the labyrinth.
We all grow to like it down here.
Thank you.
Says a goblin dressed as the clown from It.
Now, Sarah, I'm going to make it interesting. You want to get your brother back?
Yes, more than anything, apparently.
And put him back in his lame room?
Yes.
Well, you've got 13 hours from now to do so. The traditional fairy tale time.
Wow, what a whimsical amount of time. Normally it's midnight, but 13 hours.
Look at this clock I made. Jareth shows up, pulls up a macaroni clock that he obviously made in art class. That's got 13 hours. It has 13 hours on it, Sarah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is weird. This is a weird realm you've brought me to.
I bet Toby doesn't have a clock like this.
No, Toby's a baby.
That's right, a stupid baby.
What happens if I can't reach the castle by the 13th hour?
Well, then I turn him into a goblin and he's mine forever.
No! Sarah yells directly into David Bowie's face.
He turns into a spiral and disappears.
Whoa. The goblins, who do not possess that ability, all kind of begrudgingly hoist up their pants and start the several-mile journey back to the castle.
Hey, you give us a lift, Sarah?
Don't follow us, Sarah.
Sarah.
Don't look. That's cheating.
Count to 100.
No. Sarah follows the goblins to the labyrinth entrance.
Oh, shit.
Smash cut.
A horrible goblin pees into some standing water at the entrance of the labyrinth itself, which appears to be an impenetrable wall from this side. When he sees the approaching mob of goblins and young girl, he hastily does himself up.
This is another, like, very strange, crude moment in this movie that is unexpected. The first time you meet this character, he's just letting it go.
Yeah, Hoggle. Hoggle.
How can you solve a problem like a hoggle?
I said I didn't want to get negative with Labyrinth, and I won't. I'll just say this. Hoggle has nothing to endear himself over the course of the film.
It's true.
You would never be happy to see Hoggle in your bedroom.
Rather the opposite, my dear boy.
No, thank you.
The goblins see Hoggle, and knowing Hoggle to be the loser of Labyrinth Town, all like kind of cover the sides of their face and vision with their left hand. And they hurry off down some secret shaft.
Hey, fellas.
Social distancing.
COVID-19, I guess.
Hey, come back! Oof! Sarah runs bodily into Hoggle, who drips a small amount of urine into his
Ow.
britches. Ouch yourself! Watch where you're going, you thing?
Well, thank you to call me by my real name. I am Hoggle the Goblin.
What? You're a goblin?
Yeah.
Not a dwarf?
No, I'm not a dwarf. What's wrong? Why do you think I was a dwarf instead of a goblin? I'm scary like those guys are.
Somebody looked up, like, your character specs on a wiki or something. They might find your goblinhood to be lacking.
Oh, am I a dwarf?
You are a dwarf.
Cool. Because dwarves are a thing that actually exists.
Yeah, you're not like a human dwarf, though. You're like a Lord of the Rings dwarf, but not as appealing, Sarah says.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. Also, I guess I'll just go kick myself in the dick.
Wait, before you do that, you wrinkly little, like, leather-faced creature.
We're not getting off to a good start here necessarily.
Yeah, well, look, maybe you could tell me how I can get through the labyrinth, because I gotta get to the Goblin King's castle.
Oh, that's a shitty idea.
Well, sorry, but he has my brother, and it's kind of the only way I can do it.
Oh, no, well, I won't cross Jareth. No, absolutely not. He's too powerful. No.
What are you, a coward?
Yes, very much so. I'm a scared little coward. I pee myself all the time. That's why I inappropriately pee. Times like this keeps me from going in my pants every time anything happens.
Okay, well, I noticed some fairies, some little pixies flying over here who look like personable, fun, young little children. I'm gonna go and talk to them and see if they can lead me through the labyrinth.
Oh, no.
Excuse me, pixies. Pixies. Hi, Sarah from Earth. Could you tell me how to get to the labyrinth? Hi. My brother was stolen by Jareth, the Goblin King. Could you tell me how to get to the castle?
Oh, sure, we can tell you how to get to the castle. Does you want to know how to get to the castle?
Yeah, I do. I really need to know.
First, you're gonna have to listen to our song. And
Oh, no! Hoggle rushes past Sarah and sprays mustard gas into the air with his little gardening sprayer.
Hey!
Don't let them sing their song.
What are you doing? They're so beautiful.
The pixies begin to vomit out their internal organs.
Oh, God!
Don't you know? Their song is how they get their victims. You pass out from pleasure and then they suck you dry.
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for saving me. But this place seems a little more dangerous than I thought.
Yeah, nothing here is what it seems. You should go home.
Well, I can't go home. I don't know how to find my way back any more than I know how to go forward, but at least there's a castle there I can go to. Come on, just show me where the entrance is, Hoggle.
Look, You didn't hear this from me, but if you run down that insanely long corridor, maybe you'll be going in the right direction.
Corridor? Sarah turns around and, lo and behold, an entrance in the wall leads down to a lengthy corridor.
Whoa. A 1980s synth drum beat starts, and Sarah begins jogging down the corridor, surrounded by dead shrubs and withered vines. She runs past the glittering castle walls. What? She stops. A cloud of dust kicks up, and she looks down. In a little crevice of the wall, she sees a personable-looking blue worm.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
It's me, the worm.
Hi, I'm Sarah Williamson. Sarah holds out her hands to shake.
Yes, I've heard a lot about you, of course. No, I can't shake hands. I understand I'm being terribly rude, but you do understand I am a worm.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Don't have hands, you see.
Look,
They were
worm.
torn off.
Whoa, what?
Yes. One of my many enemies tore the still beating arms from my body. But don't worry, I was able to devour him.
Who was this?
The necromancer, James Beavis,
James Beavis?
tore my arms from my body. However, I burrowed into his chest and ripped him apart from the inside.
I remember that character from the book that I was reading called Labyrinth. I don't remember anyone tearing him, burrowing into his body.
Sounds like you need to get a new book. Now, what business are you and I going to do together? The worm, visibly slavering from the mouth, rubs his hidden hands together.
You know what? I'm cool. I'm just gonna go that way.
No, you have to answer my riddle and I'll tell you which direction to go in, Sarah Williams.
I don't know. You kind of seem like you want to do me bodily harm, worm.
No, I'll be one of your charming companions. It's a fairy tale, you see. You have to collect people, have fun, people to take along with you.
Okay, what's your riddle?
What walks on 2 legs in the morning, 1 leg in the evening, and when its legs are stolen by the necromancer James Beavis, it burrows into their chest and walks around wearing their skin for several days with none the wiser.
Is it the being that calls itself the worm?
The worm! The worm writhes on his back in ecstasy. When he lifts his head up again several minutes later, Sarah has disappeared. They always come back.
Smash cut. The Hall of the Goblin King. We see the Goblin King sitting in the throne, surrounded on all sides by his minions of small, comically bulbous little cackling goblins. They're all like, it's like if you nerfed orcs, you know, and they're just like, they're crude and they're like drinking from wooden
Boy, if I
steins.
could nerf my orc, I'd never leave the house.
They're basically like gremlins, except they can't hurt anybody.
If you had to kiss a gremlin or hoggle,
If you had to kiss a gremlin,
you gotta get with my hoggles.
friends.
All right, serious question. If you had to French kiss a gremlin, which is meant to be a monster, or hoggle, who is meant to be like a charming sidekick, which one would you French kiss?
Could I pick the girl goblin from Gremlins 2, the new batch?
You are allowed to.
Yeah. She looks like a person I've worked with, so it's fine.
I think I may know the person you're talking about, actually.
I think you know exactly.
She does look like the girl gremlin, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's such an inside joke. Like, nobody else other than someone who worked with us in like 2015 who happens to also know that person, and Gremlins too, the new batch, would understand.
I do feel bad because I worry that people are going to be listening to this and thinking that it's them. Trust me, if you're listening to this, it's not you. You're very pretty. I'm saying, wouldn't you worry if you were listening to a podcast with people that you had worked with at one point and they were like, I used to know this guy that looked exactly like a real big piece of shit. And the other one's like, I know who you're talking about. I feel like I would be deep down worried that they were talking about me. You know what I mean? So I just want to put everyone's minds at ease.
That's fair. Andy, you're very sensitive to other people's feelings. I
Thank
could
you.
learn a thing or two from you.
I hope you're writing this down. If you compare a woman to a female gremlin,
Yeah.
make sure you clarify to any other women nearby that it's not them and you don't think they look like female gremlins.
Because, Andy, my opinion of women is taken so seriously
That's right.
that if I say anything that like might offend them, we could see a reduction in the female population of the earth, like lemmings into the sea.
So 16-year-old girls, please write Mark an email. Let him know what your bedroom was like growing up. He is not going to give his opinion of you. And if he does, you don't need to feel bad about it.
I'm just interested in bedrooms. It has nothing to do with your secondary sex characteristics.
I'm just interested in bedrooms, baby.
Yeah, the boss is interested in bedrooms. Ha 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 ha. All of the goblins cackle transitionally.
Toby, how's your bedroom? I hear it sucks big time.
Oh, yeah, it sucked a big burrito there, J-Man.
What does everyone think of my bedroom? It's much better. Look.
Jareth pulls a Murphy bed down from the wall. A moth flies out of it.
Pretty cool, Helen.
Yeah, my bed is just a pile of swords.
That's
My bed is just an empty hole in the ground. And my bed is actually a bed that I stole from Mattress Factory.
And my bed is a California king. It's good value for money.
That's right, Billy D. All the goblins and Billy D. Williams laugh. Toby, I want to sing you a little song about, when babies are feeling bad and you have to use magic to cheer them up. It's interesting because baby, when sung by me, kind of sounds like I'm singing to a romantic partner. But I'm still just singing about a literal baby.
The goblins are racing to put on their costumes and get into their assigned spots for the daily musical number.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be. Bring a friend for yourself.
Jared pulls out a straw boater and a cane and begins doing a soft shoe routine in the middle of the goblin castle, incorporating baby Toby into several of the complicated dance moves.
When the evil shredder attacks, these turtle boys ain't taking no slack. The goblins start wildly slapping each other on the back and conga lining around, just rubbing each other violently and just like seizing and freaking out.
The terrified Toby looks around at the heaving blanket of flesh that fills the room.
Here comes the big finish.
Smash wipe. We never get to see what the big finish is, thank goodness.